In the blocks first, we've got Gliding Glaciers, Bumblebees, Crazy Cat's Eyes, and the Savage Speeders. Gliding Glaciers got off to a good start here. Crazy Cat's Eyes are now coming up to the front. Savage Speeders got second place down on the bottom of this ice sheet. And look at the speed that they're carrying. 5.100 for Crazy Cat's Eyes. That will be the time to beat. 7 heats at the last 3 marbles, or the slowest 3, in other words. They are the ones whose times count. We're going to add the times together to give us our winner. We start off, as we did in the first event, with the friendly round. Our hosts against the Crazy Cat's Eyes. Glaciers bring across that last marble, but it's Crazy Cat's Eyes better on the other ones. 32-2-3, the opening time there. Now we will switch them around in the starting block, and down they come once more. Green Eye going up the course there. Oh, aided by a collision with the Gliding Glaciers. That should help. Opening marble that comes across for either team. Remember, that does not count. It's the other 3 taking their time, and that's a new record. 35. 35 flat is the time for Crazy Cat's Eyes. As we look at our first heat, Gliding Glaciers versus the Savage Speeders. Down they come, and as we probably thought when we queued this one up, the longer distance goes to the hosts, Gliding Glaciers. 162.05 is the mark in the friendly round. Of course, these two teams spin in the middle. We've got the Speeders, the Glaciers, the Bumblebees, and the Crazy Cat's Eyes for our friendly round, and off they go. The key, as you can see, is to keep that nice wide momentum going so that you don't just spend your time hitting against that center spinning hub. You can see the lap counters over there on the left. Bumblebees are now 1 lap behind. Savage Speeders and the Gliding Glaciers, Crazy Cat's Eyes, they all have 6. You can see the time counting down. 5 seconds left. You got to get as many of them in as possible, and you can see how difficult it is if you start hitting against that hub. So the Speeders, the Gliding Glaciers, and Crazy Cat's Eyes all chalk up with 9, and 7 for the Bumblebees. Speedy and Red Eye, 2 captains in the field, end up winning this final round of the friendly. And that means we're done, 4 of 4. Tabulate those results, and how does it look? 12th on up, you have qualified. Roll on Ronalds. Gliding Glaciers, Green Ducks, Solar Flares, and the Blackjacks get us started. And the Blackjacks are very quick out of the gate. They will be cruising to a win, and it's Green Ducks on the far side that will make it down in position number 2 and transfer out of this heat. You'll notice the big plexiglass barriers behind the catch basin. That was based on the results of the qualifiers that saw some marbles going in there with a lot of speed and leaving the basin. So for the safety of both the competitors, 0.09 in total there. We start with our hosts, or co-hosts rather, the Gliding Glaciers, and then Team Momo. Down they come. One mark of success that we saw in the qualifiers was if you can get any of your marbles to work their way up the half pipe after that initial drop. If you do that, you are gaining seconds. And the goal, of course, is to have the slowest times possible. Fairly close one here, both in the 32s on the first go-around, 32.72 to 31.3. We will switch positions. Staggered in the gates. Down they come. And you can see Team Momo, they've got 2 marbles that are highest up the course before the first one of the Gliding Glaciers, or last one rather, depending on how you look at it. So those last 2 to cross the line, that should give a time benefit. And what does it work out to? 32.29. Now you see 11.23 and 11.54 for those back 2 compared to a 9 and a 10. So that means Team Momo will move to the top spot. Momo, because of the injury risks. You think back to the 2018 bobsled, getting a concussion, falling from that height, the injury back then. Oh, this is a fast run. Wow, can they keep it under control, though? A lot of side-to-side movement. Over the line. That's an 11-second run, I believe. Let's wait and see. And our hosts go into third. Bronze medal for the hosts so far with just a couple of runs left.
A huge congratulations to the winners of this event, Gliding Glaciers, Blackjacks, and Team Momo.
And so, it has been determined the new team lineup has paid off for Team Momo. They are your gold medalists in the bobsled. From the disaster of 2018 to gold in 2024. 6 were the 2 marbles. So to get us started in the actual competition, we have our hosts and Team Momo. Down they come, and they almost run nose to tail for 3 marbles. One of the Gliding Glaciers goes off to the near side. And that is part of the strategy. Do you ride in the pathways that the other marbles have plowed ahead of you, or do you go your own way? 75, 86, 78, 71 for the totals, a 161.25. But that is the worst point total of anyone so far. By comparison, our leader is still the Chocolatiers on the first run of the day with a 26.67. The hosts, the Gliding Glaciers, are out now. They've actually looked pretty good early on here in the Marble League. They've got a medal to show for it. Bronze back in the bobsled. How are the Glaciers looking so far here into the final handoff? It's not a blistering time. What they do, 27.75 isn't great either. And they also miss that center domino. They knock down the purple. That is worth 9. 28.75 puts them ahead of the Solar Flares. That is the only team. Heat A with Team Galactic, the Green Ducks, Blackjacks, and the Gliding Glaciers. Whoa, Blackjacks fired out of a cannon. They are the effective leaders right now, so keep an eye on them. The more marbles they pass, the better it is. You'll see the lap counter in the upper left there. They've got 5. Gliding Glaciers also on 5. Green Ducks hanging in third right now. Team Galactic trailing off the back. 1, sometimes 2 laps behind. They've gotten things back together, have the Blackjacks. They now have completed 9, but they are losing some speed. The clock will save them. 3 marbles settled on 9 by the end of this run. But it should be the Blackjacks. As we wait for the platform to slow. Whoa! They've done the 9, they've matched Snowstorm, but they've done it in a faster time by almost half a second. And to kick us off in the actual Marble League, our hosts, the Gliding Glaciers and the Hazers. Very even as they come down in there, and a slap shot goes past the Hazers. 1-0, Glaciers in the first period. Lots of Hazers trying to get back there on defense, but the shot had already gone in. Switch sides, down they come. One's heading past the goalie, and one goes on the opposite side as well. That first period, you see teams really make an effort to try to get those scores in, because that means the metrics through which we break ties, ranked by most group points first off, then highest goal differential, and finally most goals scored. A win gets you 3 points, a draw gets you 1, and losses 0. What an opening run here for the Gliding Glaciers. 3, watch on the right side there, 3 shots behind the defense. And Blackjacks were scrambling to try to catch up to those. Blackjacks did score 1, but now they have to go on the offense here. They send 2 or 3 marbles down there, they get 1 of them in, but otherwise, look at on the other side, 3 sneak in, 1 right at the end. And that is quite a decisive win for our hosts. 6-2. And they have to re-rack and come right back here against the Gliding Glaciers. 1 shot goes just wide for the Wolfpack. Lots of defenders on the other side, but look at those ball bearings creeping their way in. And another one back behind the Wolfpack. Gliding Glaciers sent things in motion and then immediately dropped back into the defensive zone, but no shots were heading their way. Let's see if they opt for a similar strategy here. Down they come, lots of movement. Yes, they're going to fall back. Wolfpack let two by. Gliding Glaciers had one marble that got all the way back there very early and was able to shepherd a couple of those in. Take what you can get. So what does this do for points? That means Gliding Glaciers and the Blackjacks will be advancing out of Group A, managed by Noel. Teammates Angel, Bauble, Carol, Dazzle, and Elfin. Gliding Glaciers and the Snowballs now in the first of our quarterfinals, and the Glaciers get one, but right at the end. Snowballs sneak in. Look at the shot on the top side there. Oh, they sent one in. Did the Snowballs. Perfect timing. And let's see if we can break this tie here in period number 2. Quick one goes past the goalie of the Gliding Glaciers, but watch on the left side, another one goes in. We've got two on the right side. That first one, and then watch at the end there, it angles, and a quick line. Points. Let's see if Sheet on ice. They are unable to find that balance so far between speed and control that could give them an advantage in later runs. Well, this, a glancing blow right off the nose of the domino field, gives Frost a frosty 5 points. Let's see if Sheet can do any better here. Our hosts looking for points. 31 puts them in 4th out of 5. Gliding Glaciers have had a lot of fun setting up these events. We had it in the qualifiers, in the friendly round, and in the Marble League itself. Gliding Glaciers appropriately get us started here with a safe shot that just comes up short. A 0 for the Glaciers here in the first end. Team Momo uses them and bounces into that 3-point red ring. And that gives them the tentative lead. Gliding Glaciers go on the opposite side and try a slightly heavier shot. Worth 2. Momo in the second end. Across the button and out of the back of the house. Gliding Glaciers starting off the third end with a solid shot, but open to ricochets right now. That's why some teams would put down guards to prevent them, like that one right there, to prevent a direct strike from knocking them out of where they need to be. It's a gamble, however, when you're playing from behind and the Gliding Glaciers try to split it, and they can't get it done. With the hammer, Momo. Right down the middle, tries to work it in, and displaces one of the marbles slightly. Doesn't knock it out of that red ring, but by putting another marble in there, Momo gets the win, 6-5. Two and a half behind our leaders, the Gliding Glaciers, the hosts. As these games go along with the hosts farther down in the order, you hear a lot of marbles cheering for them. They want to see the hosts do well, and they do. 44-1-5 for the Gliding Glaciers puts them in first place. Squad getting the better of the Minty Maniacs. Our first run here. And it'll be the Gliding Glaciers up in that top lane that get the opening farthest push, or highest climb, if you will. Snowballs, Raspberry Racers, Jungle Jumpers also in there. 68.05 will be the mark to beat. Switch up the lanes, and we'll come down for a second try here. And Gliding Glaciers once again, as hosts, trying to get as many points as possible and work their way up the order. They're sitting all the way down in 12th right now. They have medaled, but they desperately want to finish inside of the top 10 if they can by the end of event 16. And so to get us started is the Gliding Glaciers Iceberg. The hosts begin down this course, which they themselves had a hand in designing. Over the line here. And what will the time be? Got a little wiggly through that section, but 11:31 gives us our first estimate that we will follow throughout this. Let's get going with our hosts and the Blackjacks. Polar the reserve, Diamond for the Blackjacks, and Gliding Glaciers get the first win in the head-to-head here. Wait for the official distance, 74.81 compared to 67.01 for the Blackjacks. Switch lanes, and down we come once again. Gliding Glaciers again, exerting that strength, and that's a very consistent run, too. Both distances extremely similar. 76.70, so it's a 151.51 compared to a 136.53. Whether it's the Minty Maniacs or anybody else, if you want to play as your favorite team, check out the Yellow's Marble Run Skyway Chase set. I'll show you that a little bit later. First race is underway, and it's Team Galactic out in front. Oh, now they get passed by the Hazers. The Gliding Glaciers, our hosts, are sitting in third. Chocolatiers are well back off the pack, and it will be no advancement for the Chocolatiers or the hosts. There was the definitive move to give the Hazers the victory over Team Galactic. They will be moving on. Starry and Murky. 15.61, 15.81. Those two advancing time. As we get toward the end here, just want to say a big thank you to Mint Mobile for sponsoring these games. Literally, it would not have been possible without them. So give them some thanks in these next couple of rounds, and we are off. Look at that view from up top, thinking about what this will be like for these marble athletes. Now, we called this the funnel obstacle endurance because you can see that little blue spinner, and there are several of those kind of scattered around this course. They're not always in the same place, and that makes things a little interesting. Of course, the goal of the funnels, if you are just joining us here in these videos, is to stay in them the longest. So our leader is the marble that is highest up the course at any given time. On the flip side, sorry hosts, but it's the Gliding Glaciers on the far right of your screen. They are effectively in last place because they are moving through this funnel endurance event the quickest. Battle really tightening up. On the left side there, Bumblebees, Team Momo just dropped through. That is Team Galactic battling and fighting to regain the lead, and it appears that they have. That's their reserve, Quasar, who's running that wide line. Up above, joined by the captain of the Bumblebees, Bumble. In the middle of the pack, one wrong move could drastically change positions. So it's still anybody's race there as we see the Blackjacks. They are doing a good job of staying out of that event horizon. That point when you cannot recover and you will absolutely drop on through the funnels. Oh, and as I say that, they go through one funnel very quickly and they've lost a spot. Down below, Team Galactic. They managed to keep their momentum going just enough to cede last place to Quacky of the Green Ducks. Now, 4 marbles in that funnel, battling back and forth, and Team Galactic up top have a 1 funnel lead. A full funnel now, including the one they're on. All right, who will finish? In last place, it's looking like Gliding Glaciers unless they get some help. Nope, it will be Green Ducks. They look to be circling next, and they drop on through. Galactic's lead is still 1 funnel. It's the top 4. Marble Survival 100. This will be very familiar to you. Some of these obstacles that maybe, depending on your team, you wished you would not have to see ever again. This is one of them. It's gone by many different names. The centrifuge. There is that swirling sign that can whack marbles in different directions. You see the clothespin snappers at the bottom. And this goes oh so quickly. The snowballs have been eliminated first. The Snowballs fans are in disbelief. That team has been trending so well in the last few rounds. Multiple medals, and it just came undone there. Oh, some team got spun way up on the course. Was that Wolfpack or was that Blackjacks? Wait a minute. No, Blackjacks have already finished coming across the line. They are done. The Bumblebees were down in 14th in the standings. They could not medal in these games. And as more teams get eliminated, you'll be able to see strategies develop here, especially toward the end. We learned this in the marble survival, but that contact was just enough to eliminate that marble. Down we come once again. Well, one of the large ball bearings has been released and now finds its way to one of the magnets. As they quiver on it, you can see marbles getting sent backwards. The crazy cat's eyes. We're trying to give it their all, and it won't happen. They were eliminated, and Team Momo even. Run number 6 is go. Green Ducks, final team through that funnel point. Balls of Chaos over on the far side. Nobody is tripping that centrifuge yet. There goes the spinning chevron, but I think everybody's bob. The Green Ducks are just going to miss out on the overall podium. Savage Speeders find themselves at the back of the pack now. Balls of Chaos were once again back there, but that was an excellent middle sector, and they were able to find 9 marbles left. Jungle Jumpers were briefly last. Now it's our hosts. The edge ahead of the Wolfpack, it looked like, just as they were on the edge of the screen. Nobody's really gotten caught up in that spinner. Lots of hot chocolate sold in the stands, I hear as well. And now we're, for most of this entire tournament, fighting for a podium. On the run here, it is Savage Speeders, and I think Gliding Glaciers were back there. Let's see as they sort on through. Hazers have gone backwards, but they're going to miss out on a podium here, but they'll gladly take it to stand atop the overall podium after this one's done. Pretty soon we will be setting our top 5 and then the medal round. And it looks like Gliding Glaciers are finally going to be done for the home team. The hosts round out their Winter Marble League in 6th.